Okay, let's talk about something we all think we know. The Middle East, right? We hear that name all the time. We see it on the news. We can picture it on a map. But what if I told you the whole idea is way newer, way messier, and honestly, way more political than you probably realize? Today, we're going to unmap the Middle East. So this probably looks about right, doesn't it? This is the map we all kind of carry around in our heads. This chunk of land where Africa, Asia, and Europe all meet. It looks so solid, so permanent. Like, of course that's the Middle East. It's just a geographical fact. But hang on a second. Who actually drew those lines? I mean, who decided that this specific group of countries gets lumped together under one name? You see, that's where the story gets really interesting. So get this. For a region we think of as the cradle of civilization, the actual term Middle East is not ancient at all. It wasn't invented by the people who live there, and it doesn't come from Arabic or Persian or Turkish. Nope. It's a surprisingly recent invention. Just look at that date, 1902. Before then, you wouldn't find the words Middle East on a map. Think about that. It's younger than the telephone. It's younger than the Eiffel Tower. And this is the guy who made it famous, Alfred Thayer Mahan, an American naval strategist. And listen to how he phrases it. If I may adopt a term which I have not seen. Even he knew he was basically making something up, and he was doing it for a very specific reason. See, this name wasn't born out of geography or culture. It was born from pure hard-nosed geopolitics. Mahan was outlining a military zone right around the Persian Gulf that was absolutely critical for the British Empire to control. Why? To keep Russia from expanding towards British India. From its very first breath, it was an imperial term. And this really gets to the heart of the main critique of the name itself. It's completely Eurocentric. I mean, think about it. It's middle and east of what? Of London, of Washington, D.C. It literally defines a huge ancient part of the world based on where it is in relation to the West. So, okay, if the term started as a political idea, it kind of makes sense that the borders of that idea have never really been nailed down. They've been shifting and changing ever since. Just look at how much things have changed. A little over a century ago, what we now call the Middle East was known as the Near East. That was basically the Ottoman Empire. Back then, the Middle East was actually much further east. Think Iran, the Caucasus, that whole area. But when the Ottoman Empire fell, the term Middle East just sort of expanded and swallowed the Near East, and we've been confused ever since. And this is just incredible. Even the US government couldn't make up its mind. In 1957, a major presidential doctrine defined the Middle East as this huge area, including Libya, Pakistan, even Ethiopia. Then, just 1 year later, the State Department came out with its own definition that was way smaller, cutting out all those other countries. So, which one's right? Well, that's the whole point. Neither of them is. It's just an idea. And that's really the problem, right? On one side, you've got this neat and tidy idea. You can just shade a region on a globe and call it a day. But on the other side, you have the messy, complicated reality on the ground. A web of nations and cultures and peoples that just doesn't fit into a simple box. So, if the name is an outside invention and the borders are always changing, what about the people? Is there one single Middle Eastern culture or identity? Oh, not even close. The whole idea of a single Middle Eastern people just completely falls apart when you actually look at the diversity. Sure, Arabs, Persians, and Turks are the biggest groups, but you've also got millions of Kurds, Azeris, Jews, Copts, Assyrians. The list goes on, each with their own history, their own culture. And the same goes for language. It's a total mosaic. Yeah, Arabic is spoken widely, but so are Persian, Turkish, and Kurdish. We're talking tens of millions of people. And that's not even getting into ancient languages like Hebrew or Aramaic that are still alive and spoken today. And this incredible diversity extends to religion, too. The region isn't just the heartland of Islam. It is the literal birthplace of Judaism and Christianity as well. It's a spiritual ground zero for billions of people all over the world, which makes it one of the most significant places on the entire planet. All this diversity, all this complexity, it comes from a history that is deeper than almost anywhere else on Earth. A history that has literally shaped all of our stories. Okay, let's do a quick flyby. This is where the first human civilizations were born: Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt. Then you have the great Islamic caliphates, followed by centuries of Ottoman rule.
But the modern region we know, that really starts after World War I, when Britain and France literally carved up the old empire with rulers, drawing the lines for new countries, and then oil was discovered, and everything changed again. Just think about this number, 2/3. That's roughly the proportion of the entire planet's known oil reserves that are located right here. That one fact has probably defined the region's modern history more than anything else. And of course, all that black gold made the region a key battleground during the Cold War. Both the United States and the Soviet Union poured in weapons and money, trying to gain influence, propping up friendly regimes, and fighting proxy wars. The Middle East became shorthand for a place of intense, vital, strategic interest. So, after all that, if the term is so flawed, so loaded with history, so confusing, why do we still use it? What's the deal? Because at this point, the Middle East has become more than just a name for a place. It's a lens. It's a framework we use to look at that part of the world. A lens that's focused on strategy, on conflict, on resources. In a way, the term tells you more about the people looking at the region than the people actually living in it. At the end of the day, it's a convenient label. It's useful, for sure, but it is deeply, deeply imperfect. And its whole story is this powerful reminder that the maps we use, the names we take for granted, they are never neutral. They always tell a story. And usually, that story is about power. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on. Now that we know the story behind the Middle East, it makes you wonder, what other maps are we carrying around in our heads? What other labels do we use every day without ever stopping to ask? Wait, where did that actually come from?